Welcome YouTubers, Emma here. We're gonna do some yoga for runners today. Now, obviously you don't have to be a runner to do this class. This is great for anyone, walkers, hikers, if you run or if you cycle or if you don't do any of that, it's still gonna be beneficial for you, but we are gonna be targeting a lot of the muscles that you use with the repetitive movement of running or hiking or cycling. So think quads, hip flexors, calves, and hamstrings, most lower body focused. It should feel pretty good, albeit a little bit painful at times, but we want to find discomfort, not pain. So keep that in mind as you're moving throughout class. You never want to push yourself to the point of pain, just where you feel a little bit of discomfort. Let's get started on our bellies in crocodile pose. Stack your palms, rest your forehead on your top palm. Feel free to shift around a little bit. Let your heels flop out, toes in. And take a few deep breaths, aiming to feel the low back rise and fall. So even just bringing awareness to the lower back. Your breath starts to deepen. Maybe you're taking the deepest breaths you have so far today. Think about all that oxygen getting into your bloodstream, delivering quality nutrients to all of your muscles and your joints, especially those that work so hard for you in whatever other activities you do. Let's go ahead and bend into the knees and then just windshield wiper your feet side to side a few times. Pausing with your knees bent, keep your right knee bent, extend your left leg straight. Take your right hand and reach back for your right foot, pull heel to butt. Now most of us, our butt will kind of stick up in the air here. I want you to push your pubic bone down, hip points down. You'll feel a lot more stretch on your right quadriceps that way. Press the top of your left foot down. 3. Till those complete and full breaths. 2. 1, release grip, but keep your knee bent. Extend your right arm forward. Take your left hand and reach back for the inside of your right foot. Gaze forward towards your right thumb. We're going to kick back into the right hand. So now you're getting kind of a different stretch on your right quadriceps, opening a bit through the left shoulder. Stay there or extend your right arm forward off of the mat for 3, 2, 1. Release. Right leg, left arm out to the left. Start to roll onto your left shoulder. Step your right foot behind you, opening up left shoulder and getting an awesome twist in your low back. If you want a little more opening in your hips, which I'm sure you do, walk your right foot closer to your left hamstring and let your right knee fall outwards. I even like to put the right hand kind of on the inner right thigh and kind of push out and down to get that external hip rotation with the right leg. One more deep breath. And then roll back onto your stomach. Let's go ahead and bend the knees, stack the palms opposite, windshield wiper your feet side to side. And then bend both knees, straighten your right leg, keep your left knee bent. Take your left hand, reach back for outside foot. Pull heel to butt. If you don't feel a lot, that's all right. Really try to push your hip points down into the mat. Press the top of your right foot down. You're pulling heel to butt while pushing the hip points and pubic bone down for 3, 2, 1, release grip, but keep your knee bent. Left arm reach forward, the right hand reach back, inside grip on the left foot. Start to kick back into your right hand. Feel free to stay there or hover your left arm off of the mat. Kicking back, feeling that stretch and effort on the left quadriceps for 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Slide hands under shoulders. Push down into your hands. Roll yourself up. Keep a bend in your elbows, cobra pose. And on your exhale, roll yourself right back down. Inhale, roll up. A little bit higher. Exhale, roll back down. This time, roll all the way up, straighten your arms. You can even lock out the elbows, which we don't usually do. Pin your shoulder heads back and down. You should feel a little compression in your lumbar spine. Look over your right shoulder and bend your left knee. Feel a stretch on your left hip flexor, left side of the waist. Great stretch on the psoas muscle. Straighten left leg, look over left shoulder, bend your right knee. Same idea, keep sinking right hip down towards the ground. 3, 2, extend right leg straight, back through center, child's pose. Knees wide, forehead down. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Pull yourself up to tabletop position. Bump your knees under your hips. Let's warm up the spine with a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, arch back, look up. Exhale, round, gaze towards navel. Again, inhale. And exhale, round. Push all the air out. 2 more. And exhale. Last one. Neutral spine, hover right knee off the mat and take some big hip circles with that right leg. Try to keep even weight in your hands and go both directions. Extend your right leg back with the toes tucked. Sink your weight back. You should feel a stretch on your calf muscle, maybe your hamstring. And then we're going to swing that right leg over to the left. Put the toes down and look over your left shoulder. What we're actually going to do is kind of almost foam roll or like myofascial release this left calf muscle. So I want you to put your right shin on top of your left calf, pretty close to the back of the left knee. You can look up here if you need to see. And then I want you to sink your weight back so you're almost quote unquote crushing this right leg, but that right shin bone is pushing down into your left calf muscle. You should definitely, I totally feel like almost a massage sensation on the left calf. So keep doing that. The right shin is kind of like the foam roller and massaging out the left calf. So you might have to shift around a little bit. You can hold somewhere you feel a stretch. Feel free to make it kind of your own. And then we'll switch. Right knee on the mat, circle out that left leg, and go the other direction. We'll extend the left leg back, toes tucked. You should feel a stretch now, calf muscle, where you just were massaging. And then swing left leg off the mat to the right. Look over right shoulder, spot your heel. And then this time we're going to be massaging that right calf. So you're going to take your left shin and place it on the right calf. And then you're almost sinking your right back. Think about like sandwiching that left shin inside, in between the right hamstring and the right calf. So this side I don't feel as much of a stretch or as much of a massage sensation. I guess I just kind of have to move a little bit differently. So you can almost slide your left shin bone up and down the right leg. You can move your weight forwards and backwards. And then we'll meet in a tabletop position. Spike your toes to the mat, lift your hips up, downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal out your legs. So that obviously requires a lot more work than going to get a massage, but similar idea. I also find that, I use like a foam roller or a massage gun on my calves, but it's hard to get almost enough pressure to feel something. So I like to use that method where you're almost using your body as the tool.
Lift your heels, stretch the bottoms of your feet. Heels lifting, feel a nice stretch here. And then strap your heels back down. Take the feet out nice and wide. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Bend your knees quite a bit. If you're someone who's really active in a repetitive movement like running or cycling or hiking, your hamstrings are likely screaming at you right now. So be gentle, bend your knees more. Always feel free to put the hands down. I like to find some movement here, sway side to side. Let's release the arms, left hand mat or block, bend your left knee, stretch your right arm up. Should feel really nice stretch here. Think right hip crease going back. Your spine is still long, so tailbone back, crown of the head forward. Option to roll out the right wrist or move the right arm around at the shoulder joint if that feels good as well. And then we'll switch. Right hand down, bend your right knee, stretch your left arm up. Any movement you like, same idea. Think left hip going back, left side of the body nice and long. And release. Left hand down. Angle your toes out like 45 degrees. Keep your hands on the mat. Bend your knees, sink your butt down towards the ground like you're going to yogi squat, but then lift your hips back up. Again, bend your knees, sink your butt towards the ground, but again, lift your hips back up. 2 more. Bend your knees, sink your butt, maybe a little more each time. Lift your hips back up. Last one. Bend your knees. We'll meet in a yogi squat. By all means, you can keep your hands on the mat. You could stay lifted a little bit. Otherwise, you can bring your hands to your heart, kind of pushing the knees outwards. You should feel some compression in your hip flexors. If it's too intense, just lift your hips up a little bit. Use your hands to help you. You never want to push yourself to the point of pain. That is not the goal at all here. Let's use the hands to fold forward. Wiggle your feet in about the width of your hips. Inhale, lift up halfway. Keep a gentle bend in your knees so that your spine can be straight, flat. Forward fold and walk your hands all the way out. Downward facing dog. Now that the hands are forward, let's go ahead and lift this right leg up. Bend your knees, stack your hips, and just hang out here. If you need, the right hand can grab the outer edge of the mat. If you have space, you could even drop down to this left forearm. Squeeze your left quadriceps. Hold and breathe for 3, 2, 1. Step your right foot up towards your right thumb, runner's lunge. Feel free to use blocks. Just kind of shift your weight forwards and backwards or bend and straighten your legs a few times. Take it easy. Drop left knee to the mat and reach both arms up to a low lunge. Sink your hips forward, get nice and heavy in that right heel. You'll feel a pretty intense stretch here through your left hip flexor. Lean back as much as you like if that feels all right. I like the hands behind the head here, kind of cradling the skull for 3. Be gentle, 2. And 1. Half split, straighten, fold over right leg, flex your toes. Little bend in the knee is great. This will likely be pretty intense for you if you run a lot. So keep a bend in the knee. Feel free to put your hands on blocks or use the fingertips for 3, 2, 1. Rebend your right knee, bump your fingertips forward, standing L. Left leg lift up, outer left hip drop. Keep your shoulders, your hips square towards the ground. Step your left foot behind your right foot, crisscross your ankles, and walk your hands over to the right. Get a stretch in your outer hips. Walk your hands center, but keep your ankles crossed and rise all the way up towards standing. Grab hold of your left wrist and lean over to your right. Getting a nice stretch through that outer left hip. Hip flexors work a lot for you with repetitive movement or even with sitting down all day. Come back through center, keep your ankles crossed and forward fold. We're gonna work our way backwards, fingers in front of you, left leg lift up behind you, standing L. Take a long step back with that left foot. Drop your left knee, sink back, half split, straighten and fold over your right leg. Then re-bend your right knee, one breath, reach your arms up, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the mat and step right back, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up behind you, bend your knee and stack your hips. Option for the left hand to grab the outer edge of the mat. If you've got space, the right forearm can drop down. Firm your right thigh bone back and just hold here, breathe. Square your hips, step your left foot forward. Find any movement you like here, a little shifting, a little bending, straightening. Drop your right knee to the ground and reach both arms up to a low lunge. Again, I like hands behind the head, clasping, almost like you're lifting the back of the skull, push in behind your heart. Sink your hips a bit forward while getting heavy in your left heel for 3, 2, 1. Half split, straighten, fold over left leg. Feel free to keep a bend in the knee. Try to take some rounding out of your back by either walking your hands back or just pulling the sternum forward slightly. Feel some more length through your sides and your spine. Re-bend your left knee, bump your fingertips forward, standing L, right leg lift from the heel. Hips stay square. Feel a little pull of your sternum forward, lengthen your sides, and then step your right foot behind your left foot, crisscross. Walk your hands over to the left. And then we'll walk the hands back through center. Keep ankles crossed and rise all the way up to stand. Grab your right wrist and lean over to the left. Push your hips a little bit to the right. Breathe into the right side for 3, 2, 1. Come back through center. Keep your ankles crossed and fold forward. We'll work backwards. Halfway lift. Lift right leg behind you, standing L. Step right foot back and drop your right knee. Sink back, half split, straighten left leg and fold. Re-bend your left knee and reach both arms up, one breath, inhale. Exhale, hands on the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, exhale. Lift your right leg up behind you, keep your hips square. Step up to your right thumb. Bump your left foot a little to the left and come up to a high lunge, crescent warrior. Hug your outer hips in. Start with a little bend in your left knee. Feel your hip points lift. You should feel a little stretching here on that left hip flexor as you straighten more into your left leg. Take an inhale. Exhale, hinge and sweep your arms back, hovering your torso over your right leg. As you breathe in, reach your arms up, shift the weight to your right leg, pull your left knee up and into your chest. So you're using your left hip flexor now. I want you to keep your left foot flexed. As you hinge forward and sweep your arms back, this left heel finds the mat. As you sweep your arms back, it's almost like maybe that hamstring stretch, that calf stretch you do before you go running. If you'd like, you could even take the left hand down to grab the foot and pull back. Otherwise, the arms stay back. We'll come back the same way we got in. Inhale, rise, reach up, left knee to chest. Exhale, hinge and sweep your arms back as you step your left foot back. Inhale, reach both arms up to a high lunge, crescent warrior. Exhale, hands on the mat and step back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Exhale. Lift your left leg up, keep your hips square. Exhale, step your left foot forward. Right foot a little to the right, come up to a high lunge, crescent warrior. Start with a little bend in your right knee, level your pelvis, gradually straighten into your right leg to feel more sensation. Inhale. Exhale, hinge and sweep your arms back. Hovering your torso over your left leg. We'll inhale, come up to that one leg mountain pose. Pull your right knee up and into your chest with your foot flexed. Keep your foot flexed. You'll straighten the right leg. Hinge, the left knee bends as you sweep your arms back. If you'd like, you can take your right hand to grab your toes and pull them back. Feel a nice stretch through your almost like Achilles tendon, right calf. We'll come back the same way we got in. One leg mountain pose, inhale. Exhale, hinge, sweep your arms back, land your right toes to the mat. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, hands down, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, and let it go. All right, we're gonna add on to that. Lift your right leg up. Exhale, step forward. Inhale, high lunge, crescent warrior. Exhale, hinge and sweep your arms back. Inhale, one leg mountain pose. Exhale, figure four. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh and sweep your arms back. Hinging forward more will give you more sensation, outer left hip. Inhale, rise, left knee to chest. Now we're gonna do that stretch. Left heel down, sweep your arms back and hinge forward. Inhale, back up, one leg mountain pose. Exhale, long step back, left foot. As it touches down, put your left hand down and reach your right arm up into a twisted lunge. Right foot still forward. Pump up your left leg. Look up towards right thumb. We'll go right hand down, drop your back knee, half split, straighten and fold over your right leg. This should feel familiar. Rebend your right knee. One more breath. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, hands down and step back, downward facing dog. So kind of marrying all of the sequences we've already done. Lift your left leg up. Step up to your left thumb. Inhale, high lunge, crescent warrior. Exhale, hinge and sweep your arms back. Inhale, one leg mountain pose, right knee lift. Exhale, right ankle over left thigh, figure four, the arms go back. Hinge at your waist a bit, pull your bottom ribs in, keep flexing your right toes. Inhale, back up. Exhale, right heel down, left knee bend, sweep those arms back. Inhale, back up, one leg mountain pose. Exhale, hinge, sweep, step right foot back. As you do that, the right hand comes down to a twisted runner's lunge. Pump up your right leg, big stretch through the left arm. Drop your right knee, half split, straighten and fold over that left leg. Rebend your left knee and reach both arms up, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna move through it one more time, that entire sequence. Again, it's like a combination of the first two sequences. All of the stretches aimed at your legs, your lower body, but still being mindful of what the upper body is doing. Be mindful of your breath. Lift your right leg up, inhale. Exhale, step. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, arms back. Inhale, one leg mountain. Exhale, figure four. Inhale, one leg mountain. Exhale, left heel down, right knee bends, sweep. Inhale, one leg mountain. Exhale, left foot step back, left hand down, right arm reach up, twisted runner. Back knee down, half split, straighten and fold. Rebend right knee, low lunge. Take hands to the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Last time, left side, inhale. Exhale, step.
Crescent lunge, rise. Hinge and sweep, arms back. One leg mountain, reach up. Figure four. One leg mountain pose. Right heel down, sweep arms, fold. One leg mountain pose. Long step back, right hand on the mat, left arm reaching up. Back knee down, half splits. Low lunge, last breath. Hands down, step back, grab a child's pose. Knees wide, forehead on the mat. Take a moment to catch your breath. Soften the muscles in your face. And breathe all the way, low belly. Feel the rib cage expand against your thighs. Come up tabletop, standing on the knees, Ustrasana, camel pose. Feet down, hands to low back. One of my favorite back bends here. Lift your sternum and lean back. Feel awesome stretch, front of the body, hip flexors, transverse abs, lower abs, that is. Option to reach back for heels, push in behind your heart. Drop your head back, stretch your throat, 3, 2, 1. Lift yourself back up. Let's go hands on the mat and round your back. We'll meet back neutral spine tabletop. From here, bring your thumbs to touch. Step right foot outside of right pinky finger. Spin left shin behind you. Walk hands 45 degrees to the left. Drop your head. You should now feel a nice stretch. Inner right thigh, right hip. Imagine pushing your tailbone back towards that left heel for 3, 2, 1. Walk right hand inside right foot. Imagine scooping your right glute underneath you. Stretch your left arm up. Modified side angle. I like to use the right fingertips. You could also put a block underneath your right hand. If that's going well, you can extend your top arm for 3, 2, 1. Cartwheel your left hand to the back of the mat. Straighten right leg and turn the toes in. Modified side plank. Push your hips forward. You could even curl back a little bit, turn it into a back bend. And then really, really awesome psoas hip flexor stretch here. Lift your right leg up, bend your knee, grab the outside of your foot, and you're kicking back instead of up. So from the camera point of view, you shouldn't really be able to see my right foot. So I'm not kicking up, I'm kicking back, like I'm trying to kick through this wall behind me for 3, 2, 1. Release foot, back to modified side plank. Sweep with this right arm, bring it all the way back to the front. Both hands will be inside the right foot. Kind of like how I started. Both hands inside the right foot, left shin is now behind me. I'm gonna wiggle my right foot out a little bit more, angle the toes out, and place right hand on my right thigh. Taking a gentle twist over to the right, crooked monkey or crooked lizard pose. I'm feeling a stretch, left hip flexor, inner right thigh. If I want more, my right hand will reach back, left foot for 3, 2, 1. Release grip, wiggle right foot in, pyramid pose. Shorten your stance, angle your left toes out. Hands on blocks is great, or fingertips. You want to feel like the heels are dragging towards each other and the right hip crease is pulling back. You should feel a stretch through the back of your right leg here. Push down, ball of the right foot. If you don't feel a stretch, fold more, walk your hands more forward, lengthen through your waistline for 3, 2, and 1. Hands plant firmly, little bend in the right knee. Shuffle your left foot back a few inches, send your right leg up and back behind you. Bend your right knee and stack your hips.
We're going into wild thing. Shift your shoulders over your wrists first. Then roll to the outside edge of your left foot, like you're gonna go into side plank. Then softly step your right foot behind you. Push your spine in behind your heart. Breathe, 3. Left leg straight, 2. 1, slow flip it around, find pigeon pose on the right side. Right knee up behind the wrist. Left leg long behind you. Option for props under right hip, under forearms. You want to feel discomfort but not pain here. If you do feel pain in the front knee joint, let's take a figure 4, either seated or on your back instead. That would be the right ankle crossing over the left thigh. I like to compare poses like this to something like a deep tissue massage. It's like the best sort of pain. It's a good pain, but it is quite uncomfortable. And try to sit with the discomfort, not trying to fight it or avoid it. Just breathing through it. Take one more breath here. Then we'll walk those hands back. Tuck your left toes. You can shake out the right leg in tabletop or down dog, or just go right to a tabletop position. Come up to stand on the knees. Make sure the knees are under the hips. The knees are not together. Camel pose, lift your sternum, and then lean back. Hips going forward, shin bones going down. Spine pushing in behind the heart. Option to reach back for heels. Collarbones spread. One more breath. And bring it up, hands down, tabletop, and then round your back for a moment. Neutral spine, thumbs touch, left foot step outside, left pinky finger. Spin your right shin behind you, walk your hands 45 to the right, drop your head. You should feel a nice big stretch, inner left thigh, left hip. If you don't, really like energetically pushing tailbone towards right heel. Left hand inside the left foot, mat or block. Right arm reach up, modified side angle. Scooping your left glute underneath you, option to extend your top arm for 3. Light left toes, left knee to the left, 2. 1, cartwheel right hand, back of the mat, straighten left leg, modified side plank. Push hips forward, option to lean back a little bit. And then we're gonna go into that hip flexor psoas stretch. Left leg lift, bend your knee, grab the outside of your foot, really aim to kick back instead of up. You won't really know if your alignment is good unless you have a mirror, but that's the sensation we're going for. It's back instead of up. Up is a little easier. Release grip on the foot. Sweep it all the way around to the front. Spin your right shin behind you. Once again, let's go both hands inside the left foot. This time, angle your left toes out 45. Left hand on the left thigh is great. That's where I like to be. Or left hand reach back for the right foot if you want a little bit more. Crooked monkey, crooked lizard pose. Three. 2, and 1. Release the grip if you've got it. Wiggle your left foot in, pyramid pose. Shorter stance, folding over left leg. Left hip crease plugging back. Inner thighs dragging, squeezing towards each other. Working towards a straighter left leg, ball of the foot pushed down. Walk your hands back a bit. Little bend in the left knee. Shuffle your right foot back a few inches. Left leg going up behind you. Bend it and stack it. Feel free to hang out there. If you want to try wild thing, make sure the shoulders come forward first. Roll to the outside of your right foot like side plank. Left foot steps behind. So the right leg really stays like side plank the entire time. Leg is straight, firming down the outside edge of the foot. Make sure you're pushing down into the right hand. You're not dumping into the shoulder. And then nice and slow, flip yourself around, pigeon pose left side, or any other variation, figure 4. Finding that edge of discomfort once again. Where can you soften? Is there space to let go and kind of surrender to the sensation? Let the breath be full and complete. Maybe even find a little bit more release, more softening with the exhales. Just take a few more breaths here. Slowly start to walk your hands back, tuck your back toes. You can shake out left leg in down dog or tabletop, or just step that knee back. Let's meet in a seated position. Crossing, actually let's put this right foot outside of the left knee. Right hand behind you. Lift left arm up and take a twist over to the right. Flex your left toes and push the ball of your right foot down. Look over your right shoulder. Stay here, or right hand can grab the outside edge of the left foot, straighten into the left leg, and reach your right arm back. You might feel a stretch on the outside of the right leg, like the IT band. Try not to round your back, push your spine in behind your heart. Sit up tall for 3, 2, and 1. Bottom of the right foot, inner left thigh, stretch both arms up and fold over your left leg for 5. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk yourself back, extend right leg straight. Place left foot outside of right thigh, flex right foot, reach right arm up and take a twist over to the left. Flex your right toes and look over your left shoulder. Just sit up nice and tall. And then right hand can grab the outer edge of the left foot, extend left leg straight, stretch left arm back. You might not feel a lot if you're rounding here, so sit up nice and tall. Try not to let this left leg cross your midline. You want to keep your legs like they're on train tracks. Sit up tall, look back towards left thumb, flex your toes, and breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Bottom left foot, inner right thigh, stretch both arms up and fold over your right leg. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk your hands back towards you. Extend left leg to meet right leg. Give them a little shake. And then let's slide down onto our backs. Hug your knees in to start and rock gently side to side. Kind of just massaging the low back. Go bottoms of the feet together, knees out wide. I want you to keep this butterfly shape. Let's go hands on the mat, so hands might be kind of under the outer thighs. Push the outside edges of your feet down and lift your hips up into a butterfly bridge pose. I always feel a little bit wobbly side to side, so if you do, just know that's normal. Kind of push your feet together and down for 3, 2, 1. Lower your hips down and then close your knees like a book. Let the knees fall in. Take your feet out a little bit wider so you kind of feel a stretch outer hips. Take your arms out wider, cactus shape, and then just windshield wiper the knees a little bit side to side. Next time knees are left, pause there. Option left foot over right thigh, pushing the inner right knee down gently. So feeling a stretch on your outer top of right thigh. Maybe the kind of tendons, ligaments that wrap around in your vastus lataris, I believe it is, on the front of the right thigh. Release left foot to the ground, take your knees over to the right. Same option, just stay there, or right foot on top of left thigh. I like to keep the right foot flexed. I can feel a little bit more action then. So you're thinking left inner knee down, but not really forcing it, just kind of letting the weight of your right leg do the melting. And I'll go right foot on the ground, knees through center. Pull your knees in, happy baby pose. Grab your feet, ankles, or the backs of your knees. A great stretch for anyone, really. If you have the flexibility in your hamstrings, you might like to straighten into one leg at a time, maybe both. Then when you're ready, extend your legs straight up. If this is too intense, you can kind of support the backs of your legs. If you're close to a wall, you can take your legs up the wall. That is actually what I would recommend if you do have a wall close by. Maybe even move your mat up next to the wall so that you can take your feet up the wall. I like to keep a little bend in the knees. So this is going to be our last pose. If you are close to a wall, I would do this. You could also go close to like a couch, and that might even be more relaxing because then you can rest your legs in a tabletop position. If you are not close to a wall, a couch, or a chair, let's go ahead and extend the legs straight in Shavasana, corpse pose shape. Otherwise, your last pose is going to be legs up the wall, or, legs on the chair, on the couch. This pose is really, really nice for lymphatic drainage. So if you're doing a lot of repetitive movements on the legs, the feet, it's normal to feel pulsing or tingling here. This is a very calming and restorative pose, so it's nice to do after, say, a race, at the end of the day, right before bed. Let your spine feel heavy and supported wherever you are. Let the muscles in your face soften and relax. Release the control over your breath. Just let it be natural. We'll be here for a little while. This is basically our Shavasana. So complete relaxation, letting go. your legs are up the wall or the couch, if you start to bend your knees towards your chest, and then just roll out to one side. If you're in Shavasana, bring some gentle movements into your body. When you're ready, big stretch and roll off to your side. You'll use the strength of your upper body to make your way up. Comfortable seated position, eyes closed or soft gaze. Take a moment to just appreciate all your body does for you, on the mat, off the mat. Bring your hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale, let it go. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide and for allowing me to share the practice of yoga with you. From my heart to yours, namaste. Thank you guys for choosing to practice with me. Hope your legs and your hips feel awesome. Mine sure do. I could definitely go straight to bed right now, but it's the middle of the day here. So hopefully you feel refreshed, revitalized, relaxed, whatever it is that you need for the rest of your day. If you like this class, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you back next week for yet another yoga class. Thank you so much for tuning in. I so appreciate you.